Welcome back to XRP Insider, your daily source for the biggest updates in crypto, blockchain, XRP, Bitcoin, and the altcoins shaping the future of digital finance. Today's story is one that has traders across the market paying very close attention because after weeks of uncertainty and hesitation, confidence is finally starting to return. Bitcoin is climbing back above major psychological levels. XRP is once again becoming one of the most talked about large-cap altcoins in crypto. Solana is flashing strong momentum signals, and a new presale project called BlockchainFX is suddenly entering the spotlight at exactly the right time. The energy in the market is changing fast, and many investors believe this could be the beginning of a much larger recovery phase heading into the next major cycle. Right now, traders are searching for opportunities before the rest of the market fully wakes up, and that is exactly why projects like BlockchainFX are starting to gain traction alongside major names like Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana. Over the last few days, Bitcoin pushing back above the $81,000 level has become one of the most important developments in crypto. That number matters because Bitcoin has always acted as the emotional leader of the entire digital asset market. When Bitcoin struggles, fear spreads quickly across altcoins, meme coins, and presale projects. But when Bitcoin stabilizes and begins trending higher again, investors slowly regain confidence and start taking calculated risks once more. That is exactly what appears to be happening right now. Traders who were sitting on the sidelines are beginning to rotate capital back into the market, and that shift is creating momentum not only for Bitcoin itself, but also for altcoins and early-stage projects that thrive during optimistic market conditions. The atmosphere feels different compared to just a few weeks ago. There is more excitement, more activity, and more discussion around growth opportunities as investors look ahead to what could become a stronger summer for crypto markets overall. One of the biggest names benefiting from this renewed attention is XRP. As many of you already know, XRP has always held a special place in the crypto market because of its connection to payments, banking infrastructure, and ongoing regulatory conversations. Every time the broader market begins showing strength again, XRP quickly returns to center stage because traders believe it has the potential to react strongly once momentum fully returns. XRP also continues to maintain one of the strongest retail communities in crypto, and that loyal support base gives the asset a unique position compared to many other large-cap coins. Investors are watching closely for any developments tied to regulations, institutional adoption, or payment sector expansion, and those factors continue helping XRP remain one of the most actively discussed digital assets heading into May. Many traders believe that if the market continues improving, XRP could once again become one of the major breakout stories of the next phase. At the same time, Solana is also sending strong signals across the market. Historically, Solana tends to perform well when investors begin moving back into higher risk and higher growth opportunities. That is why many analysts consider Solana a risk-on indicator for crypto sentiment. When traders feel confident, they often move toward ecosystems like Solana because of the rapid activity happening across DeFi, meme coins, NFT projects, and on-chain applications. Solana's recent strength is another important clue that investors may once again be willing to take on more aggressive positions in search of larger returns. The ecosystem remains one of the busiest in crypto, and every time Solana gains momentum, the rest of the altcoin market usually begins heating up as well. That combination of Bitcoin strength, XRP attention, and Solana momentum is creating a very interesting environment for projects preparing to launch into public markets. That brings us to BlockchainFX, which has suddenly become one of the more talked about presales in the current market environment. According to reports, the project is now entering the final stage of its presale, with less than $500,000 remaining before launch. Timing is extremely important in crypto, and BlockchainFX appears to be entering the spotlight at a moment when optimism is starting to rebuild across the market. What makes the project stand out is that it is not simply trying to ride hype or speculation alone. The team behind BlockchainFX says the platform is designed as a crypto-native trading super app that connects digital assets with traditional financial markets in one ecosystem. That concept is attracting attention because many traders are tired of moving between multiple platforms just to manage different asset classes. According to the project's white paper, BlockchainFX plans to support trading across more than 500 different assets. That includes crypto, forex, stocks, ETFs, futures, options, and bonds, all inside a single connected trading environment. For many investors, that idea represents the next evolution of trading platforms, because users increasingly want flexibility and convenience without jumping between multiple exchanges, brokerages, wallets, and apps every single day. The crypto industry has matured rapidly over the last few years, and traders now expect more advanced tools and integrated systems. BlockchainFX is positioning itself around that exact narrative by trying to create a unified platform where users can manage different types of financial exposure in one place. In a market where convenience and efficiency matter more than ever, that angle is helping the project stand out among other presales currently competing for investor attention. Another major reason BlockchainFX is attracting attention is because of its token utility model. The project says holders of the BFX token may be able to earn daily staking rewards in both BFX and USDT through a system tied to trading fees generated on the platform. That detail matters because many traders today are becoming more cautious about pre-sales built entirely around hype without clear economic utility. Investors are now looking for projects where token demand is connected to actual platform usage and activity rather than speculation alone. BlockchainFX is attempting to build that connection by linking rewards directly to trading volume and ecosystem participation. Whether the model succeeds long-term will depend on execution, but right now the idea is clearly resonating with traders searching for projects that offer more than just marketing promises. One interesting detail making the rounds in crypto discussions is that BlockchainFX reportedly invited over 20,000 traders from its waitlist to participate in an early beta test of the platform. According to the company, more than 1,000 reviews were collected, and the average rating reportedly came in at 4.79 out of 5. Even more notable, over 72% of participants allegedly said they would use BlockchainFX exclusively, while more than 86% claimed they would use the platform regularly. Those numbers are naturally being used by supporters to argue that the project already has genuine user interest before launch. In the current crypto environment where investors have become increasingly skeptical after years of failed projects and broken promises, early user feedback can play a very important role in building confidence around a new platform. Another factor helping BlockchainFX gain traction is the fact that the project claims to already have a functioning trading system, audits, licensing efforts, and user feedback in place before launch. That creates a different impression compared to many earlier-stage crypto projects that ask investors to buy into ideas that are still years away from becoming reality. In crypto, timing and trust matter enormously, especially after previous market cycles exposed countless projects that launched with hype but lacked real infrastructure. Investors today are far more focused on functionality, transparency, and visible progress before committing capital. BlockchainFX appears to understand that shift in investor psychology, which is likely why it continues drawing attention as its presale approaches completion. Many traders are also paying attention because the project is approaching the critical transition period between private presale pricing and public market price discovery. Historically, some crypto investors prefer entering projects before exchange listings because they believe early positioning offers the strongest upside potential. However, early presales also come with major uncertainty because there is often limited information available during the earliest phases. What makes the current situation different is that BlockchainFX is now much further along its development curve. The project claims to have more validation, more platform visibility, and a clearer roadmap than it did at the beginning of the presale. For some investors, that balance between reduced uncertainty and pre-launch positioning is exactly what makes the opportunity attractive. At the same time, Bitcoin continuing to hold above major support levels remains one of the most important pieces of the bigger story. As long as Bitcoin maintains strength, liquidity tends to flow deeper into the crypto market over time. That process often begins with large-cap names like XRP and Solana before eventually spreading into smaller narratives, ecosystem tokens, and promising presales. Market psychology in crypto moves quickly, and confidence can accelerate rapidly once traders believe momentum is returning. That is why so many investors are watching the current environment carefully. If Bitcoin continues climbing while XRP and Solana maintain strength, projects entering the market during this period could potentially benefit from a much more favorable launch atmosphere than what existed just a few months ago. For XRP holders specifically, the timing is especially interesting because the asset continues sitting at the center of major conversations involving regulation, payments, and institutional adoption. XRP has spent years building one of the strongest communities in crypto, and whenever optimism returns to the market, enthusiasm surrounding XRP usually increases very quickly. Many traders believe that if regulatory clarity improves further and broader market conditions continue stabilizing, XRP could once again experience major attention from both retail and institutional investors. That possibility is helping keep XRP firmly on the radar of traders who are positioning themselves ahead of potential catalysts later in the year. Meanwhile, Solana's continued momentum is reinforcing the idea that traders are once again becoming comfortable with growth-oriented crypto exposure. Solana has consistently shown the ability to attract activity during bullish phases because of its speed, ecosystem growth, and strong retail participation. Whenever Solana begins trending higher, many traders interpret it as a sign that confidence is spreading beyond Bitcoin into the broader altcoin market. That rotation is one of the key reasons projects like BlockchainFX are suddenly receiving more attention now compared to earlier periods when fear dominated sentiment across the market. The broader takeaway from all of this is that crypto sentiment appears to be shifting once again. Bitcoin, above $81,000, changes the mood of the market. XRP, remaining one of the most discussed payment-focused altcoins, keeps attention on regulatory and institutional narratives. Solana continuing to rise signals renewed appetite for higher-risk growth assets, and BlockchainFX entering the final stage of its presale creates a fresh opportunity narrative at a time when investors are actively looking for projects with launch catalysts and visible utility. That combination is why today's crypto market suddenly feels much more active and optimistic compared to the uncertainty traders experienced earlier this year. Of course, as always, investors should remain careful and do their own research before making financial decisions. Crypto markets can move extremely fast, and while optimism may be returning, volatility is still a major part of the industry. Projects that look promising today still need to deliver long-term execution after launch. However, there is no denying that confidence is beginning to rebuild across the market, and traders are once again searching aggressively for opportunities before momentum fully accelerates. That renewed excitement is exactly why names like Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, and BlockchainFX are dominating conversations across the crypto space right now. As we move deeper into May, the next few weeks could become very important for the direction of the overall crypto market. If Bitcoin continues holding strength and capital keeps rotating into altcoins and pre-sales, the market could be entering the early stages of a much larger recovery cycle. XRP traders will continue watching closely for regulatory and adoption developments. Solana investors will monitor ecosystem growth and momentum, and BlockchainFX supporters will keep tracking the final stage of the presale before public launch. The excitement is clearly building again, and many investors believe the current environment may offer opportunities that did not exist just a short time ago. Thanks for watching XRP Insider, and stay tuned because the crypto market is moving fast, and the next major breakout story could already be starting right in front of us.